All right, so welcome back to the Haldane Board of Education annual reorg meeting. Today is July 1st. We just convened for a couple minutes in executive session to discuss the appointment of a particular individual. And now we're coming back into, or we closed the executive session. So we have some swearing in to do, right? Yeah. So Dr. Duffy, if you would like to go to the podium, raise your right hand, please.
And I can just go. Okay,
Go for it.
I, Dr. Gail Duffy, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Superintendent of the Haldane Central School District according to the best of my ability.
I, Megan Shields, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of District Clerk of the Haldane Central School District according to the best of my ability. Trustee Adam Burgoon.
All right. I, Adam Burgoon, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Haldane Board of Education Trustee according to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Now we're going to move on to election of offices for the Board of Education. May I have a nomination for president, please?
Well, I will nominate Valentine, who's already been serving so well for the past, it's been 3 years or 2?
This term.
This term,
third year.
this would be the third year. And valiantly in support of Peggy before, but with her, I can't speak for everybody to say, with your leadership, should you accept? And I think it means that we'll have good continuation of care, as they say in the medical industry, with all board members. So.
Yeah. May I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right.
I, Maggie Valentine, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Haldane Board of Education President according to the best of my ability. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Now the meeting is yours. All right, so now I am calling for the nomination of a vice president. Do I have nomination?
Nominate Sean McNabb, Vice President.
Mhm.
Sean's a steadfast member of this community, credible member of the board, has a depth of experience that most of us do not share, right? So he has held offices on this board as well, is really an impeccable member. So, we're honored to be able to have him as Vice President.
Thank you very much.
Can I second that?
Okay.
Yeah, it gives me, comfort isn't the right word, but just a little bit of, stability in my psyche here as we move forward to have you, to be able to talk to you about things. Get your opinion as well. Thank you. Let's vote. Sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Sean.
What's
Yeah, you didn't oppose yourself, so you could always say,
I've got my script.
then we would have outvoted you.
What's that?
Even if you said no, we would have.
That's true. I could have raised my arm anyway.
Yeah.
I, Sean McNall, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of the Haldane Board of Education Vice President according to the best of my ability.
Great.
All right.
All right, I actually do have a change, approval of the agenda. I was wondering, I'd like to move to amend the agenda by moving item in unfinished business. The approval, so number one in unfinished business, the approval of revised Board of Education meeting and workshop date changes. I was hoping to move that down to new business to discuss.
Okay.
May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
We need the recommended action.
Yeah.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the agenda as discussed. All right, Ezra, and then I'm sorry, who's second?
I'll take the second.
Okay, great. All right,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
great. Okay,
Well, thank you. Thank you for the support and for appointing me to lead the board. I'm honored to lead this upcoming school Board of Education. I wanted to say a welcome to Adam. I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm looking forward to working with Dr. Duffy. And I'm really looking forward to watching the progress of the high school edition and the rest of the capital project this year. I think that's a highlight. We look forward to getting updates. That's all that I had. I wanted to read that. Let's see, we're holding our board retreat on July 28th this year at 4 p.m. in the middle high school library, where we won't be discussing any business. It's all, working through how we can best communicate and operate as a team. We also will hold a special meeting on August 18th, 2026 at 7 p.m. To set the tax levy limit. And then we'll hold our a regular business meeting on August 26th, 2026 at 7 p.m. here in the middle high school library. All right, and now, like we do every year, we're required to hold a public hearing to discuss and hear any comments from the public about our code of conduct. So I'd like to open public hearing. And each year we're required to hold this hearing so that the public can have a chance to ask questions or, give us their commens. We are asking members of the public to limit their comments to 2 minutes. But I'm not sure if we have anyone here. The board or members of the Code of Conduct Committee want
You want me to discuss?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So there were several meetings through the year to discuss code of conduct, led by Principal Sniffen. I was able to attend some of those meetings. Effectively, there's not massive amounts of changes, right? There's really three kind of primary things. Some is just, basic update of language, nothing, that's heavy. Others, but there's 2 kind of focal points, right? One is obviously attendance, right? We have issues. Our issues are not any more extravagant than any other school district, so the averages can actually work kind of better than the national average on attendance issues. But obviously, when we discuss attendance, if you say your number is 15%, right? And you'll say, well, that represents actually relatively few children at Haldane. That's true, right? But we know that children learn best while they're in school. And so that kind of pans out quite a bit. And so there's a good amount of focus in the Code of Conduct about how we address attendance and kind of the steps that we're going to go through in order to make sure that we can best help the families that have students who are chronically absent. And so I think that was, that's kind of in there. And again, it's not from a punitive standpoint. It's from multi-tiered supports to really encourage attendance, which I think is a really good approach. The other issue is what you would imagine, right? Is phones. How do we best handle phones in what effectively is an open campus, right? And we do have an open campus. One of our great benefits is the fact that we're in Cold Spring, right? And our students especially at the high school level, have an ability to move, through the area a little bit. And so just kind of, how we best address the phones as students come in and out of the building, right? I mean, that's really what it is. And understanding that kind of common sense balancing act, because our students, our older students in our high school, do leave, right, and come back. So just making sure that we have a functional system. So, those are really the two big hits on the Haldane Code of Conduct.
Any other questions or comments? Anyone from the public want to say anything about the code of conduct? I'll close the public hearing. And now we're going to move to Dr. Duffy.
Okay. First of all, I can't believe it's July 1st, start of summer. It certainly feels that way outside. So please stay cool the next couple of days because the heat wave has hit us. Just to quickly sum up June, I know that we've had a couple of board meetings in June, but it was a wonderful ending of the school year. We had we had our high school graduation, all of the various moving ups, a couple of different activities for kids. And I think our students left the school year feeling cared for, excited certainly about the summer, but also that they had good years within their classrooms and with their teachers and peers. So that always warms my heart as really broken ground. If you came up for this meeting, you would have seen additional trucks, some porta potties, some wires already on the campus. So there'll be a lot of movement really over the summer, and I'll make sure to update the board and community as we go. But we're looking forward to come September having work on the campus, that when community members and students come back, they can really see that this is very much alive within campus. And I'm also mindful that it's summertime, so to my administrators that are here and the teachers who are home, taking some time to rest and recharge is needed so that we can bring our very best selves back to the next school year. So that's kind of part of what I think about summer as well. Thank you to Julia and the Code of Conduct Committee for all of the work that they do every year on the Code of Conduct. And the rest of my comments, I think I'll hold as we go through some of the personnel policies. So looking forward to a great summer and a great start to the school year, and welcome to Adam as well.
We're at our first section for communication in the public. This is on special presentations and agenda items. The Haldane Board of Education desires and values input from the entire school community. Please keep your remarks to 3 minutes or less. Disparaging remarks and discussion of district personnel are strongly discouraged. Although we do not engage in dialogue, we are listening. Please leave your contact information with our district clerk, Megan Shields, for prompt follow-up from the board president or superintendent. All right, information reports. These are the reports for the next meeting that we will approve on the consent agenda. Committee minutes. Heard a little bit about the code of conduct. Policy committee meeting. We had a great meeting with Josh, Michelle, and Dr. Duffy, and we were talking about AI and sort of the state of our AI policy, which doesn't exist yet, but it's something that everybody who lives it at the school is working on. And as the board, as we hear more recommendations from Josh, Julia, and other administrators, sort of when it makes sense. But so thank you for that. All right, consent agenda minutes. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any discussion? Right. Consent agenda financial. Do we first have the information reports from the last meeting? And I don't know, Dr. Duffy, this is a lot of these are the annual contracts.
They are,
approved.
yeah, starting at number 7. Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything you wanted to mention. We have school meal will be free school lunch again for everybody. That's the state, right?
Yes.
Item 12, that's kind of exciting.
Item 9 is Keen and Bean. And so Keen and Bean is the attorneys that we have been working with since April. And we had an RFP process, interview process with a couple of different attorneys. And we had Ezra joining us as the board member on that. And we have selected Keen and Bean for the 26-27 school year, and we'll have access to a handful of attorneys depending upon what their expertise is and what our needs are. So we're looking forward to working with them for the next school year.
One question about, and this is sort of related to the RFP for our lawyer. I can't recall, but I feel like in a previous administration, we had discussed regularly every 5 years having a conversation about not only the lawyer, but also our district doctor or district
Yes.
physician.
Yeah, so that's kind of next up.
And that's next. So that was an ask. Is that next year?
It should be. So it's good practice every 5 years to look at both the attorney and the physician in my previous experience. And so the physician would be next.
Great. Thank
We
you.
could not get to it last school year with everything else.
Oh, yeah,
going
that,
on.
I just couldn't remember. Seems like it was around COVID that we
Yes,
probably.
yeah, so it's about the time for
Yeah,
sure.
great.
You good? Anything else? All in favor?
Motion.
Oh, may I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. Consent agenda personnel. We also have a series of these sort of annual appointments. First, and again, we get our director of facilities, Dave, again for another year. That's exciting.
Okay.
I was happy to see that.
Yeah. And I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to mention about the deputy.
Yeah, I'll mention for Dave. So he has been a wonderful addition to our staff this year at such a perfect time of year because of his capital experience. He really has hit the ground running, getting to know all of our contractors, all the construction managers. He makes sure he's at every single meeting. He's very on top of things. And so we're in very good hands continuing to work with him.
Can I say something? A careful reader of this document will note that there are lots of duplicates, that we have individuals on our staff that take on lots of extra duties. And even though it's sort of built in one way or another to their understanding what they do here, it just is to note and send gratitude for the amount of work that all of those individuals do above and beyond they might be able to provide. So.
I think everyone in this room is.
Correct. I didn't want to name any names or point any fingers, but.
I'll also highlight we have a teacher joining us, so a new high school special education teacher, Elizabeth Wright. We're very excited to have her join the Haldane family. She taught in Ithaca and Chappaqua. She's also served as a CSE chair, so she's bringing a wealth of knowledge, and she's going to really support our students at the high school level with special education needs. So we're very excited about having her join the team. Also on here is the transportation operations assistant position. And if you recall, this is something that is part of the budget process. We talked through how can we continue to keep our focus on transportation without creating a brand new administrative position, but really trying to elevate our dispatcher position. So we had a full round of interviews. Josh and I screened 7 candidates. We brought 4 to committee, then 2 back to committee. Happy to announce that we are recommending Melanie Giordano, who is our current dispatcher, to join us in this new role. And it's, in one sense, it's nice to have someone who has the experience of the district and also open to learning and growing within the position, because we have other pieces of transportation that need to really now be looked at having this role. And she's the best person for the position. So looking forward to having her start officially in this capacity tomorrow. And did I miss anyone else?
I think that's the highlights.
Those were the 2 highlights.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda designation, also our sort of annual designating of procedural things. Go ahead.
I was going to say the only really significant change here is number 2. Now that we don't have this in our.
Yeah, we always have that discussion. Everyone, probably wants it to be current, but it can't. There's something about
It's not a paid publication.
Right.
All right. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda authorizations. Oh. Come on. Anything here? No, okay.
All the regular pieces, yeah.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda rates of pay.
All the same.
Okay. Questions? All right. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and then we're moving into new business, right? We got unfinished business. Okay. Does that become last?
Sure.
All right. CSC recommendations, I have the recommendations.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the recommendations of the committees on special education and preschool special education as presented.
Ask for a motion, please.
Yep.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approval of the Haldane School District Code of Conduct for the 2026-2027 school year.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the Haldane School District Code of Conduct and Code of Conduct Summary for 2026-2027 as presented.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approval of the school district's extracurriculars code of conduct for 2026-2027.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the Haldane School District Extracurricular Code of Conduct for 2026-2027 as presented.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Approval of the bond resolution.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the attached resolution authorizing the purchase of a student transportation vehicle for the Haldane Central School District at Phillipstown, Dutchess, and Putnam Counties, New York, at an aggregate maximum estimated cost of $175,000, and authorizing the issuance of $175,000 serial bonds of said school district to pay the costs thereof.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
This is question. Oh,
Sorry, go ahead, but
Questions
yes.
for discussions about?
Okay. President Valentine,
yes.
Vice President McNall,
Yes.
Trustee Clemenson,
Yes.
Trustee Cupper, Trustee Berger.
Yes.
This is for the approval of the intermunicipal agreement between Haldane and the Village of Cold Spring for a crossing guard at Mountain Avenue, Upper Craigside Drive.
Do motion second.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
And then you can discuss.
Okay, yes. I had a quick question, and I don't want to put anyone on the hot seat, but I was just curious about, I know that we are footing the bill for this, the village. I was just curious, was there
Yes,
discussion
we
about?
did. We've had lots of discussion with Mayor Foley. So when this first was coming about, as you recall, we had the traffic pilot in the spring. We were finishing up our budget and the village was finishing up their budget. So it was really a timing thing to see what could we get into both budgets. So in collaboration, we discussed that we would pick up the salary of the crossing guard and the village would pick up the training and the equipment needed. So we're sharing the responsibility. We'll post this summer, and we're hoping that we get someone that is able to join, because having 3 crossing guards for our students really would provide the amount of safety that we need.
Any other questions or?
Don't think you could. Clarification.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And then we have the last item, which is just, I wanted to discuss briefly the Board of Education meeting and workshop date change. I think we all might have seen that there was a couple changes. My only question was that they're right as it stands now. The proposed calendar has one meeting in November and two in December. And I was just, Peggy and I had discussed last year, we were sort of fans of, 2 meetings per month. So I just wanted to get everyone else's sort of feelings on that. I know that things get busy at the end of the school year. But sometimes we have like a 15-minute meeting and I feel like that's okay if there's anything. But I just wanted to see if, the rest of you guys, if you want the one in November, or if you wanted to put the 2 on like we done prior to last year. I think last year we had 1 in December.
Yeah,
one
so we've
November.
always had 2 per month, and last year, it was something that Carl Albano had suggested. I believe that's what Garrison does, 1 November, 1 December. He suggested it, we tried it. How do we feel?
I'd like to go back to 2. I thought things kind of piled up and I think we had a couple meetings through there that went really long. And I think when there's lots of reports and things like that, my personal preference is I'd prefer to spread it out. Yeah.
I tend to agree that, as Maggie noted, sometimes the meetings are rather short, which is fine. By us, at least. So as long as we're keeping things on schedule. It also just builds in a regular time for us to meet in the event that something is happening that's unexpected. I think it's wise just to expect to be meeting on the regular. So, yeah.
I'm good either way.
Okay.
I'm pretty, it's fine.
I don't know if you had any.
I think it would probably fall on the 24th, which is probably Thanksgiving week. So just be cognizant of
It's
that.
probably up.
I think it's the 3rd
No?
and 2 weeks after the 3rd.
Oh, then that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's right, it would fall right before.
That's fine. Then.
And we do
Yeah.
have
And then
holidays.
it's the 1st and the 15th for December. That's fine.
And then when it does fall on, if there's a holiday, then we just sort of push it off. It
Right.
picks up recess, yeah,
Totally cool
which
with
is
me.
nice too. All right, so I think we're all kind of feeling like 2 per month is okay. So do we go back and put it on the next?
I mean, I think we can act on it with that intention, and then we'll publish it
Yeah.
that way.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So may I have a motion? Right?
So move it.
Like,
Do I do the recommended action?
Oh, yes, sorry. I'll do it. I'm sorry. Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the discussed changes to the dates for the 2026-2027 meetings.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, thank you. Okay. We are at our second section for communication from the public. Anyone on forward? All right, board reflections.
Just want to say thank you for the capital project breaking of the ground ceremony. I thought we had a really nice turnout to that. So many elected officials, and I think it just really highlighted what a community project it is. It's like we're here on school grounds, but we really are the focal point for the community, and it was really wonderful to have such a nice turnout and lovely event.
I'm looking forward to some summer reading.
We always have
Yes.
that's the high school lit.
Yeah, the Haldane Insight, which is the lit mag.
There's great artwork in there.
And yeah, just looking through it prior to the meeting looks incredible. So thank you to everyone, the leadership that helped put this together, but the kids. I mean, this is incredible. Like just incredible artwork and really impressive commitment to just excellence here, which is great. And you saw that at graduation. Graduation was really beautiful, really well done. I think graduation is done so well here at Haldane. And it's always nice to see just community members up on the hill, which is that's really special, right? I don't know how common that is, right? And gives a little bit of the idea of what makes Haldane such an excellent place to send your children to. You might.
I know that this is the first of what will likely be many sort of hot weeks is going on here during the day with all of our staff. Because every time I arrive and there aren't students here, I see them working so diligently to make sure that everything is prepared or repaired. I know there are various stages there. And just to also note that I know that there are various relationships with municipal partners, and students are here over the summer. And it's good that we provide them access, and that we now have the capacity to make sure that it's a comfortable environment for those programs as well. So as we move toward the summer, and also to say that June, I have a variety of personal and professional obligations over this last month that made me a little less present than I would typically be, and I appreciate the board sort of picking up the slack for me and understanding.
We still voted you for vice president.
That's right. That's right. But I
Well, your work at Shakespeare paid off. I saw both performances, and if you can get there, wow, it's just spectacular.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Now that it's open, I feel like I can go back to life as normal.
It's going to be a hot week for you this week.
Yeah, it is, but
Is it
All the
cooler in the
costumes?
new space? Or?
well, it is. I don't know if the public tends to want to know this, but if you'd like to come to Shakespeare, you can. And the tent used to be down below, and so the humidity would kind of set in, and now it's up on the ridge, so the wind blows through.
There we go.
That's part of the design, but
Yeah, it's now in the official record.
that's right. That's right.
And welcome to Adam.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be here and hopefully be of help in the coming years. And you guys think of something that you have a question on that you think I might be able to be helpful with, don't hesitate. So I'd like to be a resource.
Looking forward to a great second year and looking forward to summer to kind of rest, recharge, and meet with the admin team to plan for next school year. So that's all for now.
I'd like to make a motion to convene into executive session so we can discuss matters regarding pending litigation. We have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Vote. Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Right, any opposed? All right, great.